Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm really excited to welcome you to my channel, and without further ado, let's talk about the topic of today, which is blocking. In today's video, we're going to talk about firstly what blocking is, why it's necessary and why we do it. Also, I'm going to talk you through two different methods of blocking: steam method and washing method, and I'll show you both of those later in the video as well. Before we get into today's topic, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Yes, I'm one of those people. Let's talk about blocking. Blocking is a really good method on reshaping your finished crochet items, but also it loosens the stitches and it just makes the item fall nicer and look nicer. Sometimes when you crochet, your tension might not be necessarily the same throughout the whole of the project, and it might be a little bit more tense, it might be a little bit loose, and blocking really helps to make it all cohesive and all the same across the whole of the piece. Now, you do not have to block every single item that you make. However, I do recommend you to do it just because it always makes the item sit a bit nicer on the body as well. I do not block any accessories like hats or gloves or scarves, but I do block all of my wearables like cardigans, tops, or any buttons that I make. Let's get into the first method. Here is a quick before shot of this cardigan that I've just made. As you can see, it's a little bit floppy, it's a little bit stiff around the edges, and it needs a little bit of relaxing. For this method, all you need is your bog standard clothing steamer, so something that you would use to steam iron your clothes. I usually set mine on turbo setting because I'm working with acrylic yarn and it can withstand the heat. The method itself is fairly simple. All you need to do is just steam iron item as if you would be ironing out any creases. You want the yarn to become a little bit warm and even tiny bit damp so that all the stitches are relaxing. As I'm steaming the cardigan, you can see that I'm also shaping it slightly. I'm giving it a bit of a stretch to loosen up a little bit more. That's pretty much it. It's quite an easy way of blocking your items, and this is the after result. You can see that the edges are much straighter and more relaxed. It sits a bit nicer on the body, and that's steam blocking. Let's move on to the second method. For this example, we're going to be using this crochet vest that I've made. As you can see in the video, it's a little bit misshapen and stiff, so this blocking method is the perfect option. For wash blocking, you will need a bowl where you're going to be obviously washing the item, a towel that will be used to wring out any excess water, a delicate laundry detergent. Two optional things here are blocking blocks as well as a fabric softener. You need to make sure that your delicate laundry detergent is actually hand wash safe, as you're only going to be hand washing the item. Pop a little bit of the laundry detergent into lukewarm water. Make sure that the item is fully submerged into water and start just gently washing it. I like to make sure that the water is nice and soapy as well, meaning that the laundry detergent is doing its job, and I give the fewer squeezes in the water. If you find that the clothing piece that you've just made is quite scratchy and itchy and quite stiff, I like to add a little bit of fabric softener because this will relax the fibers within the yarn and make the item much softer. Just add a couple of little pumps, give it a bit of a squeeze and a wiggle in the water, and then I like to leave it to sit for about 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that the softener has really been absorbed into the fibers, making them much softer. Next step is to rinse out the fabric softener as well as any excess soap left in the item. I prefer to do this in lukewarm water just because it's not as harsh. Give it a few squeezes and then just rinse it out under running tap. Try not to be too harsh when you're trying to squeeze out the excess water. You don't want to sort of wring it, you just want to squeeze it, making sure you don't damage crochet piece. And once you feel like there's nothing else to squeeze out, we're going to move on to the towel. Pop it on the floor or on the table. Pop your item on the top and just sort of wrap it up like shown in the video here. and just apply a little bit of pressure on top of the item. I like to step on it or go on it with my knees just to squeeze out any of the extra water that's in the piece. This will just make sure that it dries much quicker rather than putting it on the blocking boards completely soaking wet. For blocking boards, you do not need to have anything fancy. You can just use a big piece of cardboard as well. Pop it onto your blocking boards. Here you can see that I'm shaping the vest into the shape that I want it to dry in. pin, and this will be the final shape of the item. Pin it into place with as many pins as you would like, and then you just need to leave it until it's fully dry. Here's the final result. It sits much nicer on me. It's not as stiff, and it's even tiny bit bigger in size. I love the way it looks. Love. And there you go. Those are the 2 blocking methods that I personally use the most. Thank you much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.